Hey everybody, welcome to Sideline Shenanigans. My name is Bryan Jones. I have recent Millikin University signee, Matt Dawson here. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hey, Bryan, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, I gotta ask, what made Millikin University stand out from the rest during your recruitment?
So Millikin was like not where I was thinking about going. My original plan was like, hey, football's come, football's gone, and let's just go ahead and go to Indiana State. But then
Mhm.
I met a guy who I'm related to who played at South Putnam, and we kind of were just talking. He was telling me like, hey, um, I miss football a lot. I think you should really take the chance. And so that got me thinking a lot, and I ended up committing. But the thing that really got me to it is uh, just my brother went there, and so they took care of him through everything that we went through. And so, I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, the coaching staff is great too. Coach Rybach, he built a great program down in Texas, and he's very well respected in the Decatur area, and he came back to coach here. And I mean, my tight ends coach for the Atlanta Falcons for a while. My offense coordinator, Gun Twiner, he was at he was with the Saints and the Bengals and the Cardinals, and then eventually went down to the Arena Football League and played for the Tampa Bay Storm, which was where we always grew up watching, and so that connection kind of fueled it. Coach Cantniece was great throughout my entire recruiting process. She stayed on it, and she will be my tight ends coach, and she's a Hall of Famer in the Women's Football League. And so those two things really helped me, the family aspect and then the great coaching staff and their vision of what Millikin football will be really drew me to Millikin.
Okay. Did you have any other offers other than Millikin or?
Yeah, so Wabash and Crawfordsville, they had recruited me very heavily. I can't thank them enough, Um, Coach Aker was always great. We called often. Coach Olmstead was great. He would text me probably 4 times a week, just making sure I'm good, making sure everything's all right, everything's good back in Cayuga. I took
Mhm.
visits to Indiana State and Franklin, and then I did game day visits at Wabash as well.
I think I saw that on your Instagram because we know each other.
Yeah,
We're we're like this, but not this, you know.
yeah, yeah. We
So,
stayed in
what
touch over the
position are
years.
you playing in college?
I'll be playing tight end. I
Oh,
played
heck
tight
yeah,
end my
dude!
sophomore and junior year, and last year with Jerome graduating, we needed a quarterback, and Coach Coach Rodriguez and Coach Colbreth had thought that I'd make the best option, and so I kind of learned again because I grew up playing quarterback, and so to get moved around it was interesting, but I ended up liking tight end, wide receiver. But this past year, they trusted me to play quarterback, and so that's what we did.
What was your impressions of Milliken's campus and facilities?
Yeah, they have their campus is great. I've been on campus multiple times with my brother going there. I got to go out and watch his games. I took 2 visits there. It's real small, but that's okay. I kind of like that. Everything's right there where it needs to be. Their football facilities are great. All turf field, great atmosphere. They're building a brand new football facility for us. It'll have our locker room, our weight room, and different stuff for cardio and different stuff. But yeah,
How
it's really nice. I like it.
how do you stay focused with the off season?
So for me, it's been kind of easy for because coming to North Vermillion, we would get football season. I transferred late July, like going into my freshman year, and it was really football all the way through November, I believe. My freshman year, we went out first round of section was against South Putnam, and I think maybe a month later we were back doing individual work, wide receiver work, that kind of stuff. And so then that would carry us into the spring season where we would get up go to school early. 6:30 was the time that we'd all start working, and we'd go until 7:45. And then as soon as we were done with that, we'd have like a 1 to 2 week period, and then it'd be right back into summer workouts, and then fall would roll around and it'd be back right into it.
How did social media play into your recruiting?
Twitter was my main source of recruiting because most of your coaches go through your Twitter. You go and you post all your highlights and your stats and all that kind of stuff, your games that you've played. And so I reached out to a lot of coaches through Twitter. Some of the guys that I've talked to, Jesse Madden, he's with the Washington Commanders now. I met him at a camp last year, and the camps were another big thing in my recruitment. We went down to Clemson last year, going into my junior year, and I met Coach Kill Matthews, and he's at Western Carolina now, and so we kind of kept in touch. He was able to give me pointers and whatnot. My AAU coach was another guy that helped me a lot. He was able to give me pointers and just do a bunch of different stuff to help me.
Okay. Have you talked to any current players, the starting tight end, see like what you can gain from them during your
Yeah.
freshman year?
Yeah. So whenever we took the visit, we met up with different players. Kalen Bell, he's the starting tight end. He started as a freshman last year, and we kind of just were talking a lot. I got to meet the quarterbacks. They're great guys. And then some of the graduates from last year, going into my senior year, I took a visit, and I got to talk to Lombardo, and he really was a big help. He played with my brother, and so we kind of had like a little connection there, and so that was really, those two guys were the main people.
Okay. What will it mean to you to put that big blue uniform on for the first time?
It will mean the world because, ever since I think every 5, 6, 7 year old, oh, I want to play college football. I want to play college football. But a stat got shared with me last night. Only 8% of your high school athletes ever go on to play college football or college sports in general. And so that kind of just shows the past 13 years of work that I put in is going to be finally paying off. And so that'll be the absolute world to me.
Okay. Do you lean more towards being a pass catcher or a blocking specialist as a tight end?
Blocking's great. You got to be able to protect your quarterback, your running back, and get the job done. But in the end, if you can get the ball in your hands, that's where you want to be. And that's what I love to do, is be able to get the ball and just take off and get whatever I can.
Do you watch any NFL or college tight ends for inspiration?
My favorite guy right now, Brock Bowers for the Las Vegas Raiders. He was amazing. He was one of my favorite guys to watch. He came in and he tore up the NFL, putting in different. He's more of a tight end that we don't usually see. And then college, Colson Loveland and Tyler Warren, they were great guys to watch. But I also loved watching Kyle Pitts when he was at Florida. I was born in Florida, so I've always kind of watched Florida Gators, and being able to watch was special because he went top 5 for a reason, and so just watching him do all the little things.
How do you think you're going to balance school, football, and everything else in college?
I'm not quite sure because I'm going into a whole new world. I mean, going from high school to college, it's totally different. As Coach Dean said on earlier podcasts, you're a big fish in a small pond, but now all these big fish are going into one small pond, and so I'll have to learn a lot from them football wise, and a lot of them are gonna be the ones that help me with just making sure I have a great schedule for college and keep me on track of what I'm supposed to be doing. One of the cool things that Millikin does is all the freshmen, they have study tables for the entire freshman year. So that will really help academically wise. And so that's going to be one of the big things for me.
Okay. If you could go play a game in like any stadium, NFL, college, high school even, where would it be?
Oh, that's a hard one because there's a lot of different special places that have their different things. I mean, the Penn State whiteout game, that's just next level. You have the entire stadium painted in white.
Mhm.
Virginia Tech, that would be a great one to go to just for the entrance. I mean, I don't think there's a more known college football entrance than what Enter Salmon is for Texas Tech. Football wise, probably the Superdome in New Orleans. That's just it's a special place for a lot of people after Katrina and all that happened. And so
Mhm.
New Orleans fans are just more grateful, in my opinion, because they had their team taken away from them for 2 years or whatever it was. And so, and it's one of the loudest in the league. So I think that would be probably my top NFL one to play in.
Okay, okay. I like that. I like the inspiration. What are you gonna major in?
Cardiology/nursing.
Nursing's a good one. I majored in
Yeah.
nursing at ISU. So, who's your biggest inspiration on or off the field?
Ooh, on the field, probably celebrity wise, Tim Tebow was always my guy growing up, being able to watch his highlights and whatnot. And off the field, I mean, mom and dad, they're tremendous for me because they've always helped me get into great camps. They got me down to a Clemson camp my junior year, and then my freshman and senior year, I ended up going down to the Manning Passing Academy, and they've always really made it work for me, no matter what it was. If it was get me to practices at 5:30 in the morning because I'm an Illinois kid and going over, and so they
Mhm.
were able to get me to practice at 5:30 in the morning. Um, and just being able to come off the field every Friday night and just being able to go over to them and I mean they'll never tell me how bad I was or how great I did. They'll always be my encouragement throughout it all.
Absolutely. What does your current workout routine look like?
I've kind of just been following the same ones that Coach Rodriguez had us doing, different running and different workouts that he put us through. Those are kind of what I've been doing a lot of.
Okay, okay. Do you have a pre-game meal that you like to eat?
Um, I don't have a pregame meal, but I'm a big monster person. And so every game day I'll have a monster before like first hour starts. I'll always have my monster. I have one with me now, but definitely an energy drink on game day. That's for sure.
Are you gonna change your nutrition or recovery habits in college when you're heading into college?
Yeah, I'll definitely have to just to be able to get to where I need to be physically. Um, I don't want to show up and not be ready to play and whatnot. And
Right.
so they'll have different things for me there, different meals I can eat, different stuff that I can take for recovery. Because high school, you go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you play Friday. And this past year, we had Saturdays
Mhm.
off. But going into this, it's going to be Monday through Friday, and then game on Saturday, and then practice on Sunday again, just as like a recovery type thing for getting back ready for the next week.
How would you describe your playing style as a tight end?
Um, Probably just a pass catcher. Um, just get open and get down the field. If I get the ball, I get the ball great. If I don't, then I got to be able to get ready to block and different stuff just to make sure everyone else around me is having success because football truly takes 11 people. If one person's off, then you're not gonna benefit from it.
Are you excited to compete in the CCIW?
Oh yeah, the CCIW is a great conference for many reasons. I mean, we have national champs in our conference, great teams all around who compete every week, and I think that's going to be a great time to just go down and play in the CCIW.
What do you think people should know about Millikin's football program?
We're on the uprise. I mean, the past 2 years haven't been great years. We've went 0-20, but that's okay because we got a whole new coaching staff in there, and Coach Rybach is a winner for sure. Coming from Texas, coming back home, highly respected. I mean, he's going to bring his winning tradition with him.
Did you have a mentor while you were being recruited, or was it a coach, your dad, brother?
Yeah, I mean, my brother Logan, he was always like, "Is this something you really want to do? If not, that's okay." Mom was the same way. I only want you to play if you really want to, but probably Coach Rodriguez, he was able to get me started in the college field. Before he came, I didn't have any offers, and I think within a month or two of him at North Vermillion, he he reached out to one of the coaches at Wabash and was just talking to him, and they got me down on campus. Had a great visit there, and I wake up the next morning and I got a text from him saying that they wanted me to come play football for him, and so that's when I first got my offer from them, and so yeah, Coach Rodriguez was a main part in that.
Hmm. What's your favorite route to run as a tight end?
Ooh, I like corners and I like outs. Corners are just fun because you're able to get to the second level, and most times when you're running a corner, you got a smash concept or something like that going through, and so
Mm-hmm.
you really got to make that the cornerback decide: am I going to run with the tight end coming on the corner? Or am I going to bite down? And whatever happens there will open up the other. My junior year, first play that we ran against West Vigo in our scrimmage, we ran the smash concept, and the corner bit down, and drum just hit me deep, and we ended up taking it to the house. And so, corner's always fun, but
Mm-hmm.
outs are always fun too. Sometimes you get to the next level, sometimes you don't. But I like a lot of the outbreaking routes.
Do you prefer lining up like on the line in the slot or moving around the formation?
I like to move around, just kind of throw different things at people. My junior year with Coach Crabtree, we really did a lot of that. I lined out wide. Sometimes I was attached. Sometimes I was on the line. Sometimes off the line, and that's kind of just one of those hard things to prepare for because you never know where the tight end's going to line up.
Are there any parts of their playbook you've seen or studied?
Not yet. They want to get me down to campus, make sure I'm all settled in before we do all that kind of stuff.
Okay. What's your favorite drill with that, like in general?
Um, Inside runs great just for the simple fact that if I'm going to be attached, then I'm able to work on my blocking. I feel like that's one of the down parts of my game is blocking. I can get it done, but it may not be the nicest or the fanciest. But inside runs awesome just to be able to work on what you can. But one on ones are one of my favorite things to do. Just just to see what you can do against your guys, and then what you can do and study up for the next week and see what you can possibly get through with the other team and their cornerbacks.
All right, all right. How do you what motivates you during early morning lifts or long practices?
Just that it's a special thing to be able to play football. One of Coach Rodriguez's famous sayings was, "You don't have to, you get to," and that's beyond the truth because you decide that you wanted to play, so you get to go to practice, you get to go work out, you get to go be with your friends and what you would essentially call your family, and you get to learn more about the sport that you love and that you've been playing for a while.
How did Millikin present their football culture to you during your recruitment?
I mean, they were great. Obviously, that's why one of the big reasons why I decided to go to Millikin. they told us like, hey, we know that we've been down the past 2 years, but that's not going to change. Well, that is going to change. Sorry, I misspoke there. It's going to change majorly because we're going to be competing for titles. We're going to be competing for conference. We're not going to be getting skunked and not scoring. We're going to go down and score. We're going to win. And that's just one of the mentalities that I love, is that we are going to win.
Were there any misconceptions about D3 football that you learned weren't true?
Yeah. A lot of people believe like, oh yeah, D1's the highest. It is the highest, and then D2 is the next highest. That's far from the truth, in my opinion, because you get a lot of your guys coming out of D3 schools transferring up, and you're able to do a lot more D3 wise. I feel like you play in front of a lot more at the D3 level, and so yeah, I think that's one of the big things is where they line up.
How did you announce your commitment, and what was that moment? What was that moment like?
So I actually didn't. I didn't announce it. My mom kind of did for me on accident. She posted the
Oh,
pictures. She was doing a senior Sunday, and it was a pictures of me at Millikin in the Millikin gear, and I was like, oh. I was gonna
everybody
wait for a while.
knows.
I had told them before. I was like, "Hey,
I like to
yeah,"
keep
and
it.
so I was like, "All right, I got to announce it now." And so I took the Instagram first, and because that's where most of my friends are. Not a lot of my friends are on Twitter, and so I decided to
Right.
go Instagram, and then hit Facebook, and then Twitter in the end, and yeah, I mean, it was gonna get out one way or another, so I can't be upset about it or anything because she was just super excited, super proud of me for me being able to make the decision to play.
Right. What was the hardest part of being recruited?
Oh, there's a lot of things. I think the biggest thing for me though was deciding if I wanted to play or not, because there's a lot in me going back and forth and back and forth. There'd be nights where I'd be like laying in bed and out of nowhere I'd be like, let's do it, and then like a couple days later it'd be like, do I really want to do it? And so coming to like, yeah, like I said, Peyton Crickmore from South Putnam, he's my cousin. We were talking, and he's the one that really had convinced me that that he really missed playing and that he wishes he did. And so I kind of thought about it, prayed about it, asked God what I should do, and ultimately came down with the decision to play.
All right, Matt Dawson, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast. I've really enjoyed talking to you. I've known you a while.
No worries.
We have some sort of connection. But
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you for coming on. My name is Bryan Jones.
No problem.
He's
Thank
Matt
you very
Dawson.
much.
Thank you for listening.
In December of 2021, the North Vermillion and Attica School Corporation were rocked with the tragic death of a young teacher. His name was Anthony Hernandez. Along with being a teacher, Anthony was also a husband, a father, and also my brother. Anthony had a rare heart disease that only 1 in 500 people in the entire world have. I encourage you to go to 4HCM Warriors on Instagram or 4HCM.org to learn more about the tragic disease that has impacted many families and made many stories.